Hey, my name's Alana Nakamura. I'm doing the second episode for Alana Controversies at All. This one is about racial reconciliation. I went to a conference on racial reconciliation about a week ago, and it really helped with a lot of things that I was thinking and totally made me realize some other things that I hadn't really thought about. I wrote this poem that basically sums up my ideas, which I think would be better to read instead of just rambling on and on. So I wanted to read it to you. Thoughts on my skin. It's pretty, I think. It's tinted with pink, and my veins showing blue, my bones poking through, making it lighter in some places than others. Thoughts on my skin. I'm tanner in some places, and there are some rough spaces. I've got blotches of red where I picked on whiteheads, and I'm not too proud of this complexion. Thoughts on my skin. There's a lot to being white that other cultures don't really like. White is dirty, or white is worthy, and I resent the stereotypes. Thoughts on my skin. The skin that made crusades, the skin that bought slaves, and now holds fistful of money, twirling hair the color of honey, and enjoying privilege at others' expense. Thoughts of my skin. From Latinos and blacks, cause of racial attacks because of what I did to them, but then again, was it really me or the skin? Thoughts on her skin. Wow, it sure is beautiful. Her lips are so full, and her tan is ideal. She never burns or peels because it is always there. Thoughts on her skin, like the chocolate I pour over ice cream, like the darkness of my dreams, warm even in its shadow, and comforting when I allow it to fold all over me. Thoughts on her skin. It was a sign of error, not their own, the receiver of rocks thrown in the spark of ugly words that cause its wearer to curse, even now, as of then. Thoughts on her skin. It was a sign of labor and languor, to be shipped and bartered for, to be ripped off at any whim by the whips of pale-faced men, and yet encouraged to sing despite. Thoughts of her skin, the butt of many jokes, the shoulder of economic yokes, the epidermis of political taboo, and of broken homes too, and the symbol of welfare checks. Thoughts on our skin. Do you know what causes the difference, besides just genetic inheritance? Nothing more than the arranging of pigments, colors that can make her albino and make me tan darkly, depending upon jumbled aminos. This is a fact of our skin. These are my thoughts on our skin. We did not choose what color we were born, nor the prejudice included any more than we chose to be girls with straight hair or nappy curls, or how many brothers we got, or how many sisters we don't. But it makes us who we are regardless of how white she talks or how black I dress, the paths we will walk or the truths we confess. The thoughts we have on skin will shape our relation, but can't possibly come between who we will be or who we become despite of man's creation, and as long as we hold true to Christ's own attitude, letting my pallor and her smolder become not life controllers but reasons for beauty, a reason for truth of Christ's diversity and the strength of his unity despite animosity between those of our colors. Instead, it's a tool of his majesty, and that's my thoughts on skin. I thought the fact that I'm going to be rooming with a girl who's half Jamaican, half African American, and me being half Dutch, half German, and the fact that we're American Christians is enough to get over what culture tells us our differences are and be able to unite them in his name. And so, you know, even though we're going to have that difference, is it really going to be a difference, or is it going to be just another source of beauty, another source of God's glory in us? Because diversity is not an end point, and it's a state of being. You cannot focus on the idea of diversity. It has to be a commitment within your relationships. It's not like an idea that you hold to be like this grandiose scheme of, I'm going to try to be more diverse by like listening to different types of music and eating different types of food. It's the different races and cultures that you come in contact with and maintain friendships with your whole life. And he said that the reason why we become racially reconciled is for the sake of the gospel, for Jesus Christ, is because he, in a time where there was bitter tension between Gentiles and Jews, even among Christians, and he was willing to reach out to Gentiles, to Samaritans, to women. You know, he did incredibly taboo things, and so it's obvious that this is something as the core of who Christ is, it should be at the core of who we are as well.